Hello, this is Jeff from leathercraft, and today I'm going to share with you a technique I stumbled across that will increase the quality of your slate coasters or slate anything. Look how dark the black is and how smooth it is, and the engraving came out excellent, a lot of detail. I stumbled onto this idea accidentally, so I'm going to teach you how to do it and show you how it happened. I remember it was just the other day. I bought some slate off of Amazon. They were around 12 by 8, a little smaller than that. And one of them had some pretty bad scratches on it. I mean, pretty much it would have made it useless unless I did something about it. So I went ahead and grabbed some 240 grit sandpaper, and I was able to get some of the smaller scratches out, the ones that weren't that deep. But then this one in the corner just was horrible. It was just way deep. So I went ahead and grabbed my sander out. I figured, oh, well, it's just one slate board. Let's see what we can do with it. Let's figure out how to get scratches out, because in the future, I don't want to have to waste slate boards if I could help it. And this was 80 grit sandpaper, and I wasn't getting anywhere. I mean, this one scratch was really deep. I was starting to thin out the actual slate on that side, so that wasn't working for me. At that point, I shut off the camera. I was really only filming because I wanted to do an Amazon review of the product. I like letting people know, what I ended up getting and whether it's worth it or not. So off camera, I continued trying experiments, and I stumbled onto something that worked real well. In fact, this is the very slate that I was sanding just a moment ago. If you see, you can't see the scratch at all in it. Everything came out really smooth because of the fact that we went ahead and sanded it all the way down. But it also made the slate very gray, so I found a way to make it very dark, which makes the engraving pop. This is how we do it. First, of course, we go ahead and sand it down. I started with 80 grit sandpaper, then went to 120, and then to 280. And it really came out very smooth. Here's a better look at it. At this point, you're going to wash it down, but you got to do it more than once because there's still grit on there. You're going to really want to wipe it off. This is after spraying it down twice. You want to definitely, this is a white piece of t-shirt, and take a look at it when I turn it around. See, it still has plenty of grit on there. So you want to keep washing it until all the grit is off. I went ahead and did this 3 times, and on the 3rd time, it was all off. Everything was clean. You can tell by the t-shirt that there was no longer any grit on it. Here's a comparison. This is the piece of slate that I went ahead and sanded down. You see how gray it is? And here is a piece of slate that I actually already added lacquer to, but I didn't sand. So you can see how it catches light very differently. Now the issue was to get this one darker, but I decided to use more than lacquer because what I used ended up fixing all the scratches as well. And what I just showed you is black leather dye. It's Fiebing's Black Pro dye. What was great about it was that it actually coated everything a very even coat, and any of the scratches just turned to the same color, so they no longer revealed themselves. Another beautiful thing about the dye, it's not paint, so when you apply it to the actual slate, it soaks in, and it becomes part of the slate. And then you just wipe it off. This is what I'm about to do, so I'll go ahead and just shut up and let you see. I went ahead and left it on for about 3 minutes, and then I wiped it off with another piece of t-shirt. And what revealed itself was really cool. It was like a very flat, even black covering. It kind of has that like Batmobile flat black look to it. I kept buffing it because the longer I did it, the better it looked, and it got rid of any circles that were created from buffing it. And this is what it ended up looking like after buffing it. It had a really nice flat black look, no scratches whatsoever, very smooth. I was really happy. Here it is in different light. This is outdoors, this is sunlight. So at this point, I went ahead and used my lacquer again. If anyone's interested, I'm using Deft Clear Wood Finish Gloss. That's Deft, D-E-F-T. I found that this stuff works excellent for slates, and that's what I've been using. It works great for wood too. It actually dries really quickly, and within 20 minutes I went ahead and put it on the laser, and I went ahead and started engraving it. This is the Agro Delta laser. It's a 22 watt laser, and the settings I used was 11,000 millimeters a minute at 70% power. Of course, I use time lapse because no one wants to sit through watching a laser in real time, that's for sure. But it took about 52 minutes to do. Here are both slates on display. I was really impressed on how well the leather dye worked. Look how dark it is. Plus, because we polished down the stones, it looks really sharp. Look at the areas around Darth Vader's head where it's black. Look how dark it is. And because we went ahead and polished it, there's no light refracting in all different directions. I think this made a big difference on how well we were able to engrave the designs onto the slate. I'm hoping this video actually captures how well these slates actually came out. Check out the Escher. Look how well this engraved. There's a lot of detail, and the dark areas are nice, dark, and flat. Because we polished it down, once again, it doesn't reflect light in all different weird ways. For this reason, all the attention goes directly to the image. It's kind of like a black and white photograph. I'm very glad I tried to use the black dye in order to cover up the scratches, because I'll be utilizing this technique from now on. Once again, thank you for watching this video. Oh, look at that. The eyes, there's a lot of detail. It really came out nice. Hey, I appreciate it. If you don't mind, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe if you like. I truly appreciate everyone. Thank you and have a great every day.